Chosen one, the final list is out. These are about you. The moment you've been sensing in your spirit has finally arrived. The final list is out. And yes, your name is on it. These are not just random names tossed into the wind. These are chosen names, heaven-certified names, destiny-encoded identities. These are names God Himself has etched into divine history, and yours is written there, boldly, powerfully, eternally. You've been through too much for this moment not to matter. You've been stretched, overlooked, underestimated, and tested in ways most will never understand. But now, the reveal has begun. The seal has been broken. The hidden list is now open, and the light is pointing at your name. Watch this video till the end, chosen one. This message is more than just information. It is divine activation. It is a call to alignment, an awakening that was preserved for you. And write your warmest wishes and 777 in the comments below. This is a prophetic act to energize the universe around your desire. Your words are not in vain. Your vibration is attracting your miracle. Let that intention move with power and clarity. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. First, understand this. Being chosen is not a reward for perfection. It is a recognition of assignment. Heaven does not operate on popularity. Divine rankings do not mirror earthly fame. The list that has been released now is heaven's counter-record, God's divine registry of those who have stood silently in integrity when no one was watching. It's a roll call of resilience. It's the list of those who didn't quit, those who whispered prayers with tears in their eyes and fire in their spirit, those who served in secret, those who carried burdens not meant for them and still stayed soft. These are the ones who didn't chase status, but became proof of God's process. That's why this list is different. This one is eternal. You've always known, somewhere deep in your being, that your life wasn't ordinary. You couldn't quite explain it, but you felt different. It wasn't arrogance, it was a whisper, a spiritual pulse that kept calling you forward, even when life tried to drag you backward. You kept going, you kept believing, you kept choosing what was right, even when it cost you. And now, heaven has recorded it all. You may not have seen the recognition with your eyes, but you're about to feel the reversal with your entire life. Because when your name is on heaven's list, favor follows you without permission. This final list isn't about judgment. It's about release. The timing is critical. You are not behind schedule, chosen one. You're right on time. In fact, you were held back to be brought forward in a way that shocks the room. God hid you because your release would cause too many to tremble. And now, the announcement begins. No more hiding, no more wondering when. The silence has been broken. This is your moment to emerge, not as someone desperate for validation, but as someone approved by heaven itself. The final list is about people whose pain became prophecy, whose scars became scrolls of testimony, whose silence held sacred strength. Let me tell you what's shifting right now. The spiritual landscape has changed. Things are no longer operating on delay. There is acceleration, divine timing collapsing into now. Delays have expired. What was once pending has become active. What was once invisible is becoming undeniable. You're not walking into this new season hoping something happens. You're walking in as the reason something happens. Your very presence is triggering divine realignment. Every place you go, every step you take, you're stepping into rooms that were silently waiting for you. Your assignment is now magnetic. Doors are not opening. They're being commanded to swing wide for you. Chosen one, this final list, was held back for a reason. It wasn't time before. If you had seen it too early, you might have doubted it. You might have sabotaged it. You might have tried to prove it to people who were never meant to understand you. But now the list has been released because you're ready. Your soul has matured. You no longer need applause. You need alignment. You no longer crave crowds. You crave clarity. And now that you've passed the tests, endured the fire, and stayed in integrity, the recognition is undeniable. This is not an earthly endorsement. This is a spiritual declaration. When heaven announces your name, hell can't block it, and man can't deny it. No opinion can overrule God's choice. You were selected not because of how loud you were, but because of how loyal you stayed. And now, the heavens are thundering with the sound of your arrival. You are on the list that cannot be erased. The one that was written before time. The one that matches your spirit and your purpose perfectly. Everything that felt random was rehearsal. Every delay was a setup. Every betrayal was an alignment tool. And now, your life is stepping in to divine rhythm. You're not chasing anything anymore. Things are chasing you. Opportunity is running to you because your name is now on heaven's radar in a new way. The recognition may seem sudden to the world, but it's been long coming in the spirit. You were recognized the moment you said yes to your calling when no one was clapping. You were approved when you chose peace instead of revenge. You were chosen the moment you decided to be authentic in a world that thrives on masks. That's when your name was carved into that divine scroll. That's when the heavens said, "Mark this one. They belong to me." Now let me say something bold and clear to your spirit. You are the shift. You are the sign. You are the evidence. This final list is not just about arrival. It's about responsibility. What's on your life now is heavier than before. The spotlight is spiritual. The elevation is eternal. And your presence is becoming a portal. People will be healed just by being near your voice. Environments will change because you stepped into them. You are not being blessed just for you. You are being trusted with divine influence. So take this moment seriously. This is not a time to shrink. This is not a time to doubt. You're not here by accident. You are here by appointment. You are not a substitute. You are the original choice. The final list did not forget you. In fact, the list had to wait for you, because no one could take your place. No one could wear your crown. No one could speak your truth the way you do. You're one of one. Divine design. Heaven's answer to a broken generation. And now, the timing matches the message. The clock of your calling has struck now. More is coming, and you are ready for it. The list you are on is not ordinary. It is sacred. It's a divine roll call of those who endured the private wars, fought invisible battles, and kept walking in grace when the weight of the world tried to break them down. This isn't about who was loudest, richest, or most followed. It's about those who were pure in heart, persistent in mission, and unwavering in surrender. Chosen one, this list doesn't reward the surface. It honors the unseen. Heaven keeps different records than the world, and while many thought they were ahead, they were being measured by a scale they didn't understand. You were counted faithful even in silence. You were measured righteous even when others misunderstood you. You were noted courageous even when your knees were trembling. This is not just a pat on the back. It's an official transfer of spiritual authority. When God reveals the names on the final list, He's also revealing who will carry out divine assignments on earth with unmatched precision, purity, and power. You are not being favored just to feel special. You are being called out because you are ready to carry the next stage of your calling with power and integrity. Everything in your life that once looked like a delay is now being redefined as divine preparation. You weren't waiting for the world to see you. You were being sculpted to be unshakable. You weren't late. You were becoming rare. You weren't forgotten. You were being preserved. This is why you often felt separated, because heaven was setting you apart for what was coming. And now, the list confirms it. The waiting wasn't punishment. It was preservation. Let your soul absorb this. You didn't miss it. You didn't fail. You didn't ruin the promise. What's coming wasn't lost. It was simply being refined for a moment like this. The final list is proof that your obedience echoed louder than your flaws. Your heart was more valuable than your history, and your surrender mattered more than your strategy. You're not on this list because you were perfect. You're on it because you were willing to trust, willing to heal, willing to rise even after you broke, willing to keep walking even when the path disappeared beneath your feet. Chosen one, you are not in competition anymore. The season of proving yourself is over. When God validates you, no man can veto it. This is not a popularity list. It's a purpose list. That's why those who underestimated you won't understand how you've emerged in power. It won't make sense to them because it's not based on logic. It's based on legacy. God is not promoting people based on resumes. He's promoting based on resilience. And your spirit carried what others could not bear. Let's talk about how things will shift from here. Being on the final list means access will begin to unlock itself. You won't have to force open what's yours. You won't have to explain your calling anymore. You won't have to beg for doors to stay open. What's yours is magnetically moving toward you. What was hard will start flowing. Where you once faced resistance, you'll now sense divine recognition. People who used to doubt you will be confused by how fast things begin to shift. But you won't be confused, because you knew this moment would come. You were never delusional. You were prophetic. You weren't desperate. You were discerning. You weren't crazy. You were chosen. And every time you stood firm in faith while others folded, you were securing your space on this sacred list. What's being released now is not a small win. It's a generational shift. This isn't about temporary applause. It's about eternal impact. The work you're stepping into will ripple into generations you'll never meet. The final list marks the beginning of legacy. Your voice will carry new weight. Your words will pierce deeper. Your decisions will shape destiny. You are no longer in training. You are in territory. You're not wandering anymore. You're walking in your anointing. And everything you need is aligning to meet you. Resources, relationships, revelations, all of it is coming. Because when your name is called, heaven assigns every tool you need to complete your mission. You won't walk empty-handed. You won't have to hustle for divine favor. It's already yours. And now, the ones who tried to bury you will see that you were a seed. The ones who walked away will realize they missed the chance to walk beside greatness. The ones who laughed at your dreams will witness their manifestation. But don't hold any bitterness. You weren't meant to be understood. You were meant to be revealed. And now that the list is public, your purpose is visible. Let that soak in. Let it ignite you. Because you've just crossed the threshold into a new existence. This part of your journey will require confidence, not in your abilities, but in your calling. You won't have every answer, but you'll have divine instruction. You won't have every connection, but you'll have heavenly backing. You won't have certainty from others, but you'll walk in certainty from God. And that's enough. That's more than enough. Because chosen ones don't walk by sight. They walk by clarity in the Spirit. And you have it now. What used to feel cloudy has become crystal. Your name is not just on a list. It's on a mission. It's on a scroll of heavenly strategies. It's being mentioned in rooms your feet haven't yet entered. It's vibrating through timelines your mind hasn't even imagined. This is the realm of divine orchestration, and you are no longer waiting for your moment. It's waiting for you. You are not hoping for recognition. It's being handed to you as an inheritance. Because this isn't just a season of breakthrough. It's the fulfillment of everything you carried in secret. You will not be overlooked again. You will not be passed over. You will not be silenced. The anointing on your life is louder than any rejection you faced. The final list confirms what heaven always knew. You're the one. The appointed, the assigned, the activated. There's something profoundly sacred about divine timing. You see, when a list like this gets released, when heaven makes it known who's been set apart for the next wave of glory, it means the entire spiritual infrastructure around you starts to shift. You're not just receiving a message, you're becoming the message. This isn't theory anymore. It's now. The delay has ended, the doors have opened, and you're being escorted into your prepared place by the hand of divine alignment. This is why your soul feels heavier lately, not with burden, but with awareness. You're sensing that the atmosphere around you is different. You may not be able to explain it to others, but you know something massive is occurring. That's confirmation. Chosen one. When you're on the final list, the realm around you starts arranging itself to match the destiny that's attached to your name. Everything that felt out of order before begins to organize itself without your effort. You're not pushing anymore. You're being pulled by promise. And with that, you're going to start noticing what doesn't fit anymore. People, environments, habits, even thought patterns. The list requires a version of you that is fully activated, fully aligned, fully surrendered. This doesn't mean perfection. It means purity. It means knowing who you are and refusing to bend yourself to be understood by those who aren't equipped to interpret your anointing. You don't have to explain yourself anymore. The elevation will speak for itself. This list has changed your rank in the Spirit. You are no longer fighting like you used to. You've crossed over from spiritual survival into strategic authority. That means your prayers carry new volume. Your visions have greater clarity. Your presence releases a frequency that dismantles darkness. People won't know why they feel peace around you, but it's because your alignment is now tangible. You're walking proof of prophecy. And your name is now written into this final list of power bearers and purpose walkers who will not be denied. There is a price for this kind of calling. You already paid it. The cost was your crushing seasons, the betrayal that didn't break you, the isolation that taught you how to stand alone, the silence that taught you how to hear God, the delays that taught you how to wait without bitterness. All of it. Every pain, every no, every door that wouldn't open, was the tuition you paid to stand in this moment fully equipped. You didn't beg your way in. You didn't perform your way through. You endured. You trusted. You stayed. And that's why you're being revealed now. Listen closely, chosen one. The final list carries weight. It's not a popularity badge. It's a battle assignment. It's a signal to the universe that your spiritual rank has been activated, and your divine mission is live. That's why you feel the urgency. That's why distractions are being removed. That's why what used to excite you now feels irrelevant, because you're not playing in the shallows anymore. You're being summoned to the deep. And in the deep, everything changes. Your life is no longer about survival. It's about demonstration. You are now a walking testimony. You're the one others will point to when they say, "Look what God can do." You're the one whose story will awaken sleeping giants. You're the one whose turnaround will become a template for others' belief. You're the blueprint now, not because you planned it, but because you surrendered to it. And God is using your life as proof that delay does not mean denial. You're about to feel the power of divine exposure. Not the kind that drains you, the kind that crowns you, the kind that elevates you into circles of purpose and realms of influence, where your voice echoes with heaven's authority. You will speak, and shifts will occur. You will move, and miracles will manifest. You will decide, and doors will open. You are carrying a level of access now that demands clarity. So don't be surprised if the wrong things fall off. That's protection, not punishment. You've been assigned a new spiritual territory. Your name on the list is a marker. It means you've been given jurisdiction over environments, over spiritual gates, over timelines. You're not just called, you're crowned, not with pride, but with purpose. And as you step into this new reality, remember, it's not about being famous. It's about being faithful. It's not about being seen by crowds. It's about being seen by heaven and trusted with something sacred. You are now the answer to prayers others prayed in silence. Your life is becoming the fulfillment of generational cries. You've been trusted with visibility not for vanity, but for victory. This is why you went through so much in secret, because the reward was never going to be surface level. The reward is legacy. It's impact. It's divine partnership with a holy agenda. And it's yours now. You were chosen for this era. You were hand-picked to carry an anointing that this generation has been starving for.